Well, hello and a very warm welcome. You guys are watching the Cricket Next YouTube channel. BGT first match, and India has already won the first match of the series. What a start for Team India! Just a week back, we all were wondering when India came to the shore of Australia, and but after losing a three-match series to New Zealand at home, we all were wondering if we'll be able to win at least a match or two in this series. But finally, the series started, and India has conquered Perth, as you must have seen on the thumbnail. They are 1-0, 1-0 ahead of Australia. There's so much to talk about this match, about individual performances, about records being broken by players. I have with me my usual experts, Jamie Alter, Taus Rizvi, and Harshit Best, and we're going to talk about this amazing match and this amazing performance by the Indian team. Jamie, I'd like to start with you. Your thoughts on what India did. We have talked about everything day by day, session by session, individual performances, but as a whole, how would you summarize India's performance in the city of Perth?
Unprecedented. Nobody thought this team was going to win, and no one thought this team was going to win by 295 runs. Just what do you say? What do you say? You want to write them off? You want to question them? You want to be critical? You want to crack jokes at their expense? यार अलग टीम 3 साल के बीच अंडर रवि शास्त्री एंड विराट कोहली यहाँ पे अंडर बुमराह with गौतम गंभीर something is changed, right? Something is shifted. um, just this is right up there. चलो नॉस्टैल्जिया सेक के लिए अब बोलते हैं कि गैबा विन वाज वेरी वेरी डिफरेंट. वहां पे टीम की हालत खराब थी एंड टू कम बैक फ्रॉम 36, बट यू फ्लिप इट अराउंड. आई मीन ओके, वहां पे आपने 36 ऑल आउट के बाद आपने 2 मैच जीते. यार इस मैच में तो आपको किसी ने चांस नहीं दिया, राइट? एंड यू बीटन देम बाय 295 runs. A couple catches would have been held. You might have won by 325, 330 runs. This is huge. This is huge because, like we discussed before going live, I think this is more than the confidence जो इंडिया ने यहाँ से gain किया होगा. It's what Australia have lost. I just think when we discussed this, so I won't repeat myself, but you have three fast bowlers and a spinner, all on the wrong side of 34. You have too many aging out of form batsmen. Steven Smith cannot buy a run if he paid people hard cash. So there's just too many problems. मानता हूँ 4 टेस्ट मैच है, कुछ भी हो सकता है, but definitely for me going into Adelaide, the gulf between these teams has increased because we've heard Josh Hazlewood make some comments. We've heard the commentators there saying that Adam Gilchrist said that he's also hearing things. So एक टीम का जो gain है बहुत बहुत बढ़िया है. कुछ selection discussion होंगे I'm sure India को लेके, but this Australian team, it's going to take them. They'll have to double what India have achieved to beat India in Adelaide. And all this ping ball and all, I said before this Perth test, I thought they would get smashed in Perth. India, I'm talking about. I thought they'd win in Adelaide. So I'm sticking to that. But I'm so glad that I was proven wrong because I was one of the ones that said, "यार नहीं 3 दिन में India खत्म हो जाएगा." So well done, India. Well done.
Absolutely. I mean, some amazing performances in that Indian team. But Taus, your thoughts on the first test match as a whole, from day 1 to day 4 today. As I said, there were some amazing performances, but as a team, what has India done so far?
As a team, they have played as a team, right? Batters back bowlers, bowlers back batters, right? So I mean, at the end it was the bowlers, from taking 10 wickets in the first innings to 20 wickets. Jasprit Bumrah, Siraj coming back into form. Nitish Reddy is looking beautiful the way he got that wicket of Mitchell Marsh. I mean, it's a complete team effort. Not many, I don't know, not I think 100% expected India to lose this match. 100% Indian fans expected India, including all of us, because it's not just about यहाँ पर it started from India. It started from India where we lost 3-0. Again, I'm going back to that series. Difficult conditions. There, the batters did not back the bowlers. Bowlers did their job. They got the wickets, but our batters failed miserably on in all the 3 test matches. वहाँ पर, but यहाँ पर this was, we learned from the first innings. So hence, I mean, there was a narrative कि यार यहाँ पर पर्थ में ही खेलेंगे पहला मैच fresh. Australia will be fresh. They will be playing on a home friendly conditions. Enjoy करेंगे. But suddenly the picture has changed. The narrative has changed. It's shifted in India's favor, which is looking so beautiful. A beautiful story, a beautiful start. I mean, 4 matches to go. I'm not going to come to a conclusion. Australia is going to come back hard because, I mean, Of course, they have players on the wrong side of 30. All of them are aging. They have the experience. Test cricket is about experience, but I think 534 is. I mean, all credit to the batters as well. The way they batted, the way Yashasvi Jaiswal took upon himself to counter attack, to take up to learn from the first innings, leaving the balls outside the off stump, getting back in the second innings. Then Virat Kohli apply himself with that beautiful 100. यार वर्ड्स ही नहीं है, मैं क्या डिस्क्राइब करूं, मुझे पता नहीं, बट ब्यूटीफुल यार. This win again, it's historical and a great way to start a series. And I hope we continue Adelaide because it's going to be tough. Adelaide के बारे में बात करेंगे, बाद में बात करेंगे, but this is beautiful. Yeah, let's enjoy this win. Let's talk about it more than Adelaide, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah, absolutely. And what a splendid performance by the Indian bowlers as well. We'll talk about the batting, but you can see the Australian scorecard on your screen of the second innings. There's only one Travis Head who looked dangerous for a while, and not dangerous as in that he can take the game away from India because they were chasing a massive total. That was almost impossible, but still he was looking good before obviously the man himself, Jasprit Bumrah, steps up and does what he does. We'll move on to the specific, but Harshit, I would like to ask your opinion also about the match as a whole, your summary. What are the positives you take from this match that would help India going forward in the next four matches?
I mean, we were all very scared when this test match started because, and our worst nightmare, I mean, when India got all out, 150 came true when India got all out. So, but the performance by the Indian team in this match has been outstanding. I mean, this is the biggest win by an Indian team in Australia, and the third biggest win for India outside home. So it's a big achievement that needs to be celebrated. Very good individual performances by captain Jasprit Bumrah, Yashasvi Jaiswal in his first test in Australia, then Virat Kohli, Nitish Kumar Reddy. We were all very, we all were questioning his selection in the side that is he ready for test cricket? Are we pushing him too early? But the way he has batted in both the innings, the way he is bowled in the second innings has impressed everyone. Harshit Rana, his selection was very questioned by many, experts of the game were thinking that, Gambhir has brought these two guys. There is KKR quote, and there are talks about that. People were not happy with his selection, with Harshit Rana's selection over Akashdeep Singh in the side. But all the selections, all the players that clicked for India in this match, especially the bowlers. And if we have seen that, our problem was batting. The day our batters start to click, we'll get results, and this exactly happened in this match. So overall, a very good performance. But yeah, it's just a start. We cannot get overconfident by this win. We need to continue this performance in the next four matches as well because it's a big series. Australia can make a comeback. Last year, in the last tour, when we went to Australia, we made a comeback after 36 all out. So Australia, in their home conditions, they can too make a comeback. So we need to keep our feet grounded and keep continuing good performances. I mean, we were not able to do good in the first inning with the bat this time. We should expect that in the next match, which is going to start in the next 10 days, to do well in the first innings with the bat as well. So, I mean, if we are able to do that, I mean, there's every per chance that we're going to win third series in a row in Australia. I mean, very impressive performance in this match. But
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, eyeing the Indian team is eyeing the series. They want to win this series. They want to win their third consecutive series at home, and they have started really well. But Jamie, a word on the man on your screen, Jasprit Bumrah, his first victory as a Test captain. Your thoughts on his leadership skills? He is touted to be the next India captain after Rohit Sharma. People, fans want him to lead India. How do you rate Jasprit Bumrah, the captain, in the last 4 days?
No, he's been good, and I think it's very simple. You keep giving results, you will automatically be picked after Rohit Sharma retires. अभी तो बहुत time है in WTC cycle. I mean, I don't even get into the final discussion, but you keep doing this. I thought he looked a bit lost when he captained that one-off test in England, but clearly he's gained from there. And when you are able to read the conditions, when you're able, I think we discussed this. कि एक fast bowler अपने खुद के fast bowling teammates का rhythm और positive, negative, frustration, anxiety, वो सब समझ पाएगा better than a captain standing at slip or at extra cover. He's just read the condition. But I think more than captaincy, the sheer control he had over this match as a bowler, which is, I mean, that's his primary job, right? 67 for 7 that first day. 3 of the wickets came to him. Next morning, he takes one ball to get Alex Carey. यहाँ पे भी कल शाम को मतलब 12 पे 3. I know Siraj got one wicket, but it was always Bumrah who we all thought यार वो कब आएगा, और जैसे ही आ गया, आज देखो जैसे आया, मेरे ख्याल से तीसरे चौथे गेंद पे ट्रेविस हेड को निकाल दिया. That's a ball. I mean, he's bowled some fantastic balls in his life, but that's one ball I believe कि जसप्रीत बुमराह हमेशा याद रखेंगे, because it came टफ नहीं कहूंगा, बिकॉज वी नो द मैच रिजल्ट. मैंने तो कहा भी कि ट्रेविस हेड को 150 मान दो, क्या फर्क पड़ेगा, बट इट केम एट अ टाइम व्हेन ट्रेविस हेड वाज counter attacking, he was looking for room, and the fact that you bring yourself on, and I think he only bowled what, I think he bowled just 2 overs in that spell. It was a very, very short spell, but when you come back, when you just change innings and you change a passage of play with your sheer genius, I mean, I'm glad he's finally getting recognition in terms of more newspaper coverage and the captaincy. क्योंकि यार सालों से जो हमारी fan base है और media है, they always go for the kings, the goats and all. Bowlers just don't get talked about enough. And I still feel, despite some amazing things that Bumrah has done, it seems like whenever he gets a 3-4 wicket haul, the broadcasters bring up some stats. He's gone past Marshall, he's gone past so and so. That's all well and done, but boss, we need to appreciate that what we're watching, और जितने भी साल बाकी हैं, this is India's all-time greatest new ball bowler, with all due respect to Kapil Dev and Zaheer Khan. Because जितना भी मैंने देखा है यार, we've come from the era of Subroto Banerjee and Venkatesh Prasad, and then Srinath came along, Ankola, David Johnson, all these guys came along. बहुत आए बहुत गए, but यार इस आदमी जैसा मैंने तो नहीं देखा यार. And to be so consistent and just literally like he has that skill whenever he gets the ball in his hand, वो कुछ तो करता है. So I'm not at all surprised that he's man of the match. Well done Jaiswal, well done KL Rahul, well done Virat Kohli from my side. But this Jasprit Bumrah, this was, to my mind, this was Jasprit Bumrah's test match.
Yep, absolutely, and he led from the front with the ball in hand. As we discussed, I think before the match started, Jamie, we were discussing if he'll be able to manage his own workload, thinking that he's the captain, he needs to take the leadership. But it was so beautiful to see when there were only 2 wickets left. Instead of him coming to bowling and taking those 2 wickets, completing a fiver, he pushed someone like Harshit Rana to go and bowl some more overs, get the momentum. A youngster playing Test cricket in Australia, so that was actually a very beautiful thing to see. But those captaincy की जब बात होती है, social media पे I've been seeing there's a certain section who has been, if not giving entirely all the credit, it's saying that it's a shared credit with Bumrah and Kohli when it comes to captaincy for this match. How unfair do you think it is on Jasprit Bumrah that, yes, I agree, Virat Kohli is probably the best person you have in Indian team to have by your side when you're leading a side. He's a former test captain. He knows the format inside out. But sharing the credit, वो social media पे जो भी चलता है backlash, and these two, they bond really well. And I'm pretty sure they don't care about what people say. But the social media, whenever they come up with something good, they add some toxicity into it. And this is what's happening on social media कि नहीं कोहली ने कैप्टन किया, नहीं बुमराह कैप्टन है. तो how do you see that?
नहीं टॉक्सिक देखिए दे शुडंट केयर व्हाट सोशल मीडिया सेज एंड प्लेयर्स आई डोंट थिंक सो दे केयर बिकॉज और केयर करना भी नहीं चाहिए, नहीं तो वो मेंटल एस्पेक्ट पे आ जाएगा, एंजाइटी हो जाएगी और वो फोकस उनका गेम से हट जाएगा. एंड सी दिस वाज ऑब्वियस ना, राइट? इधर उधर फील्ड चेंजेस, ये वो कंट्रीब्यूशन. कोहली इज एन एक्सपीरियंस्ड लैड, somebody who's experienced Team India for a long time. He's led in Australia. He knows the conditions well as a batter. He knows he's led when India, in their first ever Test series win in Australia. So captaincy wise, leadership wise, he has more experience. So why not? It's beautiful to see players backing, senior players backing each other. And Kohli is the most experienced, most senior most guy in the lineup. So why not help this guy out, Bumrah? I mean, it's his second test, right? So what? How does it matter? क्या कि कोहली हेल्प करे या कोहली हेल्प कर रहा था ना, और थोड़ी यशस्वी जायसवाल या कोई जूनियर आके. सो आई थिंक इसमें टॉक्सिसिटी बिल्कुल भी इन्वॉल्व नहीं होना चाहिए. बिल्कुल भी लोगों को ऐसा जजमेंट पे नहीं आना चाहिए कि यार विराट कोहली का टेस्ट विन था और बुमराह का नहीं. क्रेडिट तो जसप्रीत बुमराह को ही जाएगा. पेपर पे अगर आप देखेंगे कुछ साल बाद, कुछ 5-6 साल बाद, यहाँ क्लिप्स तो डेफिनेटली रहेंगी क्योंकि ये रहने आई है. अनलेस वो किसी कोई हैक करके सारी डिलीट कर दे, वो बात अलग है. बट ये रहने, स्कोर शीट रहने आई है. पर्थ की जब स्कोर शीट उठा के देखेंगे तो आप देखेंगे कप्तान बुमराह है, जिन्होंने 3-0 सीरीज रोहित के अंडर हारने के बाद, मैं रोहित के ऊपर नहीं जा रहा हूँ, बट अंडर हारने के बाद यहाँ पर उन्होंने कमबैक कराया फर्स्ट टेस्ट मैच में. पर्थ में इतना डेंजरस नैरेटिव उनकी तरफ और इंडिया की तरफ सडनली शिफ्ट किया. तो क्रेडिट डेफिनेटली बुमराह को जाएगा और जाना चाहिए, क्यों नहीं यार? आई मीन जाना ही चाहिए द वे ही इज लेड. और एंड इट्स अ टीम कंट्रीब्यूशन है, इट्स अ टीम कॉम्बिनेशन. यहाँ पर आप मैनेजमेंट की बात कर रहे हैं तो ऑन फील्ड डिसीजंस बुमराह के होंगे अलोंग विद कोहली, विच वाज गुड टू सी. इट्स अ टीम वर्क. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट प्लेइंग 11 से लेकर स्ट्रैटेजी, प्लान ए, प्लान बी, प्लान सी, वो बैठ के एक आदमी डिसाइड नहीं करता कि बुमराह अगर कैप्टन है या रोहित अगर कैप्टन है. तो ऐसे इसमें डिसएग्रीमेंट्स भी होते हैं, उसमें अग्रीमेंट्स भी होते हैं, उसमें एडवाइजेस भी होती है फ्रॉम अदर सीनियर प्लेयर्स लाइक विराट कोहली. सो इट्स मोर ऑफ अ, इट्स अ टीम गेम, राइट. इसमें टीम गेम
Yeah.
में आपको एक लीडर नहीं मिलेगा कि यार इन्होंने डिसीजन लिया तो खत्म हो गए. टीम गेम है तो सबका कंट्रीब्यूशन रहता है. और पेपर पे रही बात तो बुमराह कप्तान है और इसमें कोई दो राय नहीं होगी कि यार बुमराह हैज गॉट दिस विन विद द बॉल एज वेल एज द लीडर. ग्रेट इनपुट्स फ्रॉम विराट कोहली एंड दैट्स हिज रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. यार उनकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी एज ए सीनियर प्रो आपको आके कंट्रीब्यूट करना अपनी एडवाइस से, और ये स्पोर्टिंगली लिया बुमराह ने और बाकी टीम ने, विच इज गुड साइन. टीम वर्क है यार.
Yep, absolutely. And it was, I think it was pretty evident that both of them share a great camaraderie. And Bumrah knew the importance of Kohli, and Kohli knew the fact that Bumrah is the official captain. He was just a helping hand, and that's something that helped India win this Perth test. But Harshit, Bumrah is officially the player of the match. I mean, they were good contenders. There was a Yashasvi Jaiswal scoring his first 100 overseas, 161. Then there was a Virat Kohli scoring 100, which was more on an emotional side. Obviously, player of the match uh, could have been a Jaiswal or a Bumrah. But your thoughts on Bumrah winning the player of the match and his performance in this match?
I mean, if India is winning, if India has won this Test match, it is just because of Jasprit Bumrah, to be honest. Because India was all out for 150 runs in the first innings. Who led the comeback? It was Jasprit Bumrah. He got what? He got McSweeney out, then he got Usman Khwaja and Steve Smith out on back-to-back deliveries. The match was in India's favor, turned into India's favor at that point. So, I mean, if he has done it, right, in the next morning when Alex Carey, we were thinking that, Alex Carey can be dangerous. He got him out of the first ball. And Australia was dismissed for 104 runs, the crucial 46 runs. It turned the game into India's favor. It gave the belief to the batters, that you have to go out, you have to score runs. So for me, no brainer, he was the right candidate to win that man of the match award in the second innings as well. I mean, when India invited Australia to come out and bat in the last 5 overs of the day, Bumrah picked up 2 wickets and the match. I mean, Australia could have made. Australia should have. Australia was thinking, let's try and let's give it a shot. Let's chase around 100, 535 runs. But Bumrah 2 wicket. He got what? McSweeney out. He got Manas Labuschagne out. The match was over. I mean, no brainer. I mean, and then today, even when Travis White was going good, he was looking good. It was looking like that he can extend the game for a while. He can keep India away win from a while. Bumrah produced a gem of a delivery to get him out. So ultimately,
Yeah.
we live in a country that we celebrate
Hmm.
batters more, right? Like you
Yeah.
mentioned, like we discussed about that. Bumrah became Bumrah. It was Bumrah's under Bumrah's captaincy, India won. But there are a lot of talks about social media. It's Virat Kohli's Virat Kohli. I mean,
Hmm.
I am not sure that if the same was happened with Rohit Sharma, the credit would have been shared. It is just that Jasprit Bumrah is fairly new to be talking about that, but that should not happen. I mean, Jasprit Bumrah is a very quality player. He has proved himself as a bowler in all three
Hmm.
formats of the game. It was very good for India in the World Cup last year, T20 World Cup this year, IPL, beat any conditions in
Yeah.
India,
Yeah.
overseas. You need to respect that player. You need to give credit to that player. And I'm very happy that, he has delivered. There was a lot of talk about that. Will he be able to, is he the right candidate? Should we look to Rishabh Pant? Should we look to Shubman Gill? But he has
Yeah.
proved that, if I'm considered as a deputy of Rohit Sharma, I'm right. I'm ready to lead the side. And he has done it. I mean, I'm very impressive performance by him as a captain, as a bowler. So good signs for India.
Yeah, absolutely. Kudos to Jasprit Bumrah with the kind of performance that he put up in. But Jamie, I think in the first answer you mentioned something about Josh Hazelwood and what he said during the press conference. This is the exact quote of what Hazelwood said. He was asked about Australia's plan for day four. What will they do with the bat in hand? This is how he started. You probably have to ask one of the batters that question. Probably, I'm sort of relaxing and trying to get a bit of treatment, and I'm looking mostly to next test. Well, there are different perspectives to this. The main one is a that you are putting everything on your batters as a team. You are there to represent your team. It was not Josh Hazelwood, the bowler. It was Josh Hazelwood, the Australian player, the Australian cricketer. And then him saying, "Okay, I'm focusing on the next test match already." Have you ever heard any player before a test match ends come to the press conference and says we are already focusing on the next test match, even though they knew, okay, we are going to lose this one? They don't officially say it. Your thoughts on this statement? And as Gilchrist said, That is the team divided between batters and bowlers? Do you think they are divided?
Yeah, clearly something is wrong because we saw this even when India were batting and batting and batting. Like when a catch went down, they were a bit more frustrated, a bit more animated. Chalo, theek hai, hot day, flat track. This was not the Perth that you thought you'd be able to roll India over twice cheaply. But yeah, this statement from Hazlewood yesterday kind of left me surprised, and I'm also thinking कि कुछ तो अभी at least batsmen versus bowlers hai. Again, you can look at the conditions. Australia had the best of the bowling conditions on day one when they rolled India out for 150, and when they came back to bowl a second time around, it was a batter's track. And I think egos, like I mentioned, a lot of egos have been dented, because excuse me, collectively these four Australian bowlers have over 500 wickets. But when you get smashed like this, and then you saw the way they came out to bat. Harshit Rana inko bouncer by bouncer, dalta raha. So in a past you would have said, "Ke yaar, honey, these guys will have their say." But if the wicket doesn't have anything in it, you've seen that these bowlers can actually be played with and played very well. So let's see, 4 test matches. But like I said earlier, I have serious doubts about what 11 Australia is going to play, because
Yeah,
they don't have options.
yeah,
I don't see fast bowlers coming through. Chalo, Scott Boland ko aap khila loge, but is Scott
mm,
Boland going to be the answer to your problems? Are the evident batting problems going to go away by playing
yeah,
Scott Boland? No. So it's a fascinating series which has been opened up widely, more so than
yeah.
anyone thought. And I believe, yeah, it's not the most, it's not the happiest dressing room right now.
Absolutely. Taus, do you think India read the pitch way better than Australia? Because at the toss, Pat Cummins said that for us it was 50-50. We could have gone either ways. But Bumrah, after the match ended just a while back in the post-match, speech, he said that we played on this surface on these sort of conditions in 2018. We knew that when the match starts, the pitch is soft, but then it gets quicker and quicker. How is it that the visiting captain knows your pitch better than you, your home captain? You are saying we were 50-50, we don't know. And then the Jasprit Bumrah comes and explains how the pitch behaves throughout the 4 or 5 days. So did India read the pitch way better than Australia hai?
This is like how New Zealand read Indian wickets better than the host India, right? So see again, like it was not everybody expected first day, and you see India 150 all out. जसप्रीत बुमराह ने भी एक्सपेक्ट किया होगा या नहीं किया होगा, आई डोंट नो, बट दिस वाज सरप्राइजिंग, राइट? फर्स्ट डे जूसी विकेट, आई मीन ही वुडंट हैव एक्सपेक्टेड कि यार हम ऐसा जबरदस्त कमबैक करेंगे. तो मे बी या Jasprit Bumrah being an experienced guy, somebody who's won you matches, somebody who's got a better reading of wickets, somebody who's there on the ground, understands where to pitch, how to pitch exactly, and how to use those conditions. सो उनको बेटर मालूम है, और वो शायद ऑनेस्ट आदमी है. जिस तरह से अपियर करते हैं तो वो ऑनेस्ट, ऐसा फैफ नहीं करते हैं. ही डजंट कम आउट विद फॉल्स स्टेटमेंट्स और स्टोरी टेलिंग नैरेटिव क्रिएट करने के लिए नहीं. व्हाटएवर ही सीज ही सेज. ही इज, आई बिलीव दिस गाय इज जेन्युइन. तो वो सही बोल रहे होंगे अगर वो हिसाब से कि उन्होंने ज्यादा बेटर पढ़ा होगा, उनको वो अंडरस्टूड करेंगे कि इट विल बी फर्स्ट डे ऐसा जूसी रहेगा, उसके बाद धीरे धीरे और थोड़ा बदलता जाएगा. एंड दैट इज हाउ इट्स बीन ओवर द इयर्स. बट आई बिलीव द क्रेडिट गोज टू द बैटर्स एज वेल, क्योंकि 534 का टारगेट देना इज ह्यूज. वो इट स्टार्टेड प्लेइंग ऑन द माइंड्स ऑफ द ऑस्ट्रेलियन बैटर्स. आई मीन कितना भी बड़ा साइड हो, कितना भी एक्सपीरियंस साइड हो, 400-450 के ऊपर इट बिकम्स डिफिकल्ट साइकोलॉजिकली, क्योंकि आपको 2 दिन बैट करना ही, वहां पर खड़े रहना ही, ड्रॉ करना ही इतना मुश्किल हो जाता है. क्योंकि देखिए एक मेंटल एस्पेक्ट है वहां पर, जितना भी, एंड इट्स वेरी हॉट, इट्स नॉट इजी फॉर बैटर्स आउट देयर टू स्टैंड इन द मिडल. सो वो एक एक इट्स लाइक अ जंग, इट्स लाइक अ वॉर. आपको एक सोल्जर की तरह खड़े रहना है. यू हैव टू फेस द बॉलर्स, यू हैव टू फेस Jasprit Bumrah, Harshit Rana, somebody who's fresh in Test cricket, and the way he's bowling, these guy, and Mohammad Siraj, suddenly you see he's back in form, bowling exactly where his captain wants. Nitish Reddy is another guy, somebody who's keeping beautiful. He may not have the pace, but he's pitching it so right कि उसको pitch wicket भी help कर रही है. तो they have not allowed them to rest. And the way the Indian batters, I mean, you can't completely take away the credit from the Indian batters कि यार सिर्फ bowlers का game है. Obviously, जायसवाल जिस तरह से respond किया, जिस तरह से विराट कोहली respond किया, 534 was huge, man. It's a huge, and especially, I mean, whatever the side, even if it was the Ricky Ponting's side of Invincibles या स्टीव वॉ की, तो it would have been, it starts playing on the mind यार. मैं एक मैच खेला जिसमें एक क्लब मैच में जिसमें हमने 425 रन खाए थे. तो it started 45 ओवर्स में 425 रन एंड स्टार्टेड प्लेइंग ऑन द माइंड एंड इट वाज एन एमसीए टूर्नामेंट 25 ऑल आउट. क्योंकि आप उधर ही गिर जाते हैं, आप उधर ही सोच के गिर जाते हैं कि भाई आप जब पवेलियन के आप जब ड्रेसिंग रूम के बाहर निकलोगे बैट हाथ में, विल स्टार्ट थिंकिंग यार कैसे अचीव करेंगे 500, ड्रॉ भी कैसे करेंगे 2 दिन में, कैसे बैट आउट करेंगे. यू मे हैव द बेस्ट ऑफ द बैटर्स. But I think credit to Bumrah as well. I mean, the way the way he's read the pitch. If he's claiming to have said ki I knew what exactly the pitch would offer, beautiful. I mean, then again he should also read. Rohit Sharma की responsibility ज़्यादा रहेगी, but he can come out and give inputs about Adelaide. जो अगले टेस्ट मैच में होने वाला है, पिंक बॉल कैसा बिहेव करने वाला है, दैट इज समथिंग इंटरेस्टिंग, सस्पेंस टू वॉच आउट फॉर. बट फॉर नाउ बुमराह should get all the credit for winning you the test match with the ball, leading in style, and then giving prepping up the batters to come out well on this particular kind of wickets, and at the end it's a team effort, yeah, completely, from KL Rahul to the 11 number batsman. Who's that?
Each and every player
Siraj.
performed to the best of their ability, and that's the reason we have won this test. We have few interesting comments coming in. There's a sports fan who's asking now the focus shifts to Adelaide because it's a pink ball test. It's quite far. There's a practice game before that, a 2-day practice game, November 30th and 1st of December. Prime Minister's 11 versus India A. But this question: would you rush Shami in Adelaide Test or continue with the same bowling attack? Harshit, your thoughts on this? Would you want to fast track Mohammad Shami, or would you have a Akash Deep sitting out in the squad? Your thoughts on this?
I mean, Shami is first of all not part of the squad, so it's not right to talk about Shami because it will be unfair to the players who are part of the squad. Shami is playing in Shahid Mushtaq Ali. Let him play there. Indian bowlers are doing well. There is no problem. We don't want to change anything. If something is going good, please don't change it. The only two questions are the availability of Rohit and Shubhat Gill, and since because they have done well for India in the past, so they are the two players that will get into the side. I don't think so that Indian team management even would want to change the bowling combination. Raj was very good in this match. Bumrah, I mean, he picks himself. Then Harshit Rana bowled very good. The way he dismissed Travis Head in the first inning was the highlight of the day. So all three players are very good, and there's a practice match. So I mean things can change, but as of now, after the first test win, the way these three paces perform, I mean I'm not. If I am the selector, I am at the part of the team management. I would not make any change to the bowling attack, because Nitish Reddy has impressed with this performance. This guy should continue with the time. Sundar, we need a player assistant. So Sundar is the right guy. I mean, ठीक है. So I am not sure the Indian team management even would want to bring in somebody like Shami, even though he is very good bowler. I mean, there's no need. I mean, as of now.
Well, I think I sort of disagree. For me, Mohammad Shami is Mohammad Shami, and I would be as ruthless as I can be against Australia. I understand that the current bowling lineup has done immensely well. They have shown potential. They have done nothing wrong in this test match. But a Mohammad Shami with the pink ball in hand, I'll want Australia to face that. Jamie, your thoughts on this? Would you personally prefer fast tracking Shami? That is, if he's fit, obviously. If he's fit enough to play a test match, would you fast track him, play him in the warm up game, and then have him in the Adelaide Test, or are you happy with the bowlers that we have as of now?
I'm not even taking Shami for the Sydney Test match. There's absolutely no need. You're disrespecting, like Harshit mentioned, you're disrespecting. And on what basis? He bowled 4 overs for 46 runs against Punjab. On 4 overs in SMAT, you want him to play a Test match? Illogical to even have that man. I know he took 7 wickets against MP, it was, but he looked sluggish. He looked overweight, and you cannot be calling someone back because they did something a year. Bowling 16, 17 overs in a Ranji match, with all due respect to the Ranji standard, and then 4 overs for 46 against Punjab, जहाँ पे अर्शदीप सिंह आपको छक्का मार रहा है. Why do we need Mohammad Shami here? I think that
No,
What kind of
he's been incredible. I'm a big fan, but does that look like a man ready for Test cricket right now? Not to me, man. Sorry.
बट
No,
कनव,
that's true.
आई वांट टू
Let's
आस्क यू कि तुम
yeah,
किसको
yeah.
ड्रॉप करोगे अगर शमी को लोगे तो?
It's a harsh call. Obviously, it's a harsh call. Whenever someone performs to, and especially a youngster, obviously you won't drop a Jasprit Bumrah. Especially a youngster, someone like a Siraj or a Harshit Rana needs to be dropped for Mohammad Shami. But I do agree with the fitness part. As I said, if he's fit, and by fit, I don't only mean the injury, as in if he's fit enough
But
to
boy,
play a
Kanav,
test match.
he's not going to get fit by Adelaide. Maybe Melbourne, maybe Sydney. But I'm saying you have. Can you imagine what Akashdeep would have done on this track? So you have guys like him. लिख के ले लो मुझसे. Akashdeep would have been more lethal than Harshit Rana. So when you have these guys, they're the future. ठीक है यार, he's achieved great things, but why do we always rush back? Until 3 days ago, comments are coming. Rahane और पुजारा यहाँ क्यों नहीं है? आगे बढ़ो यार. It's a tough call. I'm being very critical, but you have to move on, man. Reward the guys who are going to give you 6-7 years. What will Shami give you if he comes back? 6 months. I would say, Shaul Penalo, thank you for a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant career. Nothing to be gained now. And what Adelaide, it's too soon, yeah.
No, I kind of
Maybe
understand where
bowling
you are
coach.
coming from. Yeah, Taus,
Bowling,
you want to
yeah.
add something to this?
No, no, it would be harsh on these guys. Yeah, again, I mean, I'm not saying something new, but it would be harsh. I mean, look at the way Harshit Rana bowled, yeah. I mean, first test match, did he look nervous to you? I mean, he was taking on Mitchell Stark head on, yeah, other batters, the way he, troubled Steve Smith with that beautiful incoming delivery, even though it was not out. Beautiful, yeah. The line and length, they were. See, Perth, may any youngster would get carried away. I mean, look at Nitish Reddy. I mean, forget Harshit Rana, he's got pace. Nitish Reddy with 120, 125, he was threatening these batters. I mean, Mitchell Stark was struggling. An experienced batter like Mitchell Stark. So why to just be unfair and bring again? Agree with Jamie by an unfit guy, somebody who's making a return, trying to make a return. When you have Akash Deep on the bench, when you have और कौन है fast bowler? So why to take risk? Siraj is doing well. Jasprit Bumrah, नीतीश रेड्डी, 4 फास्ट बॉलर्स. जब जरूरत पड़ेगी फ्यूचर में 5 टेस्ट मैचेस, सडनली खुदा ना खास्ता अगर कोई इंजरी आ गई तो इधर उधर करके वो भी नेट्स में टेस्ट करके कि यार ये डाल पा रहे कि नहीं उतना लंबा उतना टाइम, तो अदरवाइज व्हाई?
Yeah, no, fair point. And this is actually very interesting. Like, on social media also, I saw some of the fans saying that they want to see Shami in Australia. Jasprit Bumrah himself said that if he gets fit, hopefully we'll get to see him in Australia. So this is a big, what do you say, a point of debate, discussion. I would love if you can, to all our viewers, if you can put your opinion in the comment section down below. We'll love to hear what do you want personally. Do you want to see a Shami in Australia, or we want these youngsters to continue as perfectly as Taus, Jamie, and Harshit described about someone like Harshit or a Siraj or a Nitish Kumar Reddy. But then there are two guys who are bound to come back, who will more or less come back. There's no denying that. That's Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill. We have discussed this in the past, but are we sticking to Rohit to open, Gill at 3 and Rahul at 5, or Harshit, would you want to change things up? Would you want to put a Rahul at 3, considering he did extremely well at the opening position, and have a Gill at 5? And then there were some random thoughts of having Rohit Sharma back at 5, which I don't think makes sense. But Harshit, your thoughts on that?
अगर आप देखोगे कनव, इस टेस्ट मैच से पहले सबके सब जितने भी लोग थे केएल राहुल की पोजीशन को लेके क्वेश्चन कर रहे थे कि केएल राहुल को टेस्ट टीम में क्यों, इंडिया के लिए खेलता ही क्यों है. एक टेस्ट के बाद नैरेटिव बदल गया. सबको लगता है केएल राहुल शुड ओपन, ही इज अ टेस्ट प्लेयर, सारी टीम में होना चाहिए, सब खिलाना चाहिए. इंडिया में ओपिनियन ना हर मैच के बाद बदल जाता है. सो आई एम नॉट रियली गोइंग गेटिंग इनटू दैट. लोग इंटरनेट पे क्या बोल रहे हैं. रोहित शर्मा ने आपके लिए इस सीरीज अगर आप याद करोगे तो जब जैन में हम इंग्लैंड के साथ 5 टेस्ट मैच की सीरीज खेले थे विराट कोहली के एब्सेंस में, और पहला टेस्ट मैच हम हार चुके थे, सबको लग रहा था कि शायद हम अपने घर पे हारने वाले हैं. बट रोहित शर्मा स्टेप्ड इन, ही स्कोर्ड 2 सेंचुरीज इन दैट सीरीज. शुभमन गिल स्कोर्ड 2 सेंचुरीज इन दैट सीरीज. दे आर प्रूवन परफॉर्मर्स. एक रफ पैच आता है, विराट कोहली का भी था यार. विराट कोहली ने इस साल पूरा साल T20 वर्ल्ड कप खेला, श्रीलंका ओडीआईज खेलने गया, टेस्ट मैचेस खेले, रन नहीं बन रहे थे, बट पर आया, सेकंड इनिंग में सेंचुरी बना दिया, एंड सबका नैरेटिव बदल गया. तो वही है कि अगर आप ये क्वेश्चन कर रहे हैं कि शुभमन के लिए रोहित शर्मा की टीम में जगह बनती है, उन्हें खेलना चाहिए नहीं खेलना चाहिए, डेफिनेटली खेलना चाहिए यार.
No, no, no. It's not about if they should play. It's about at what position should they play. Obviously, as I said, they will come back. There's no doubt. Yeah,
their usual
that's what.
position. Rohit to open and Shuman Gill at 3. एंड इंडियन टीम मैनेजमेंट भी यही करेगा। अगर आपको याद होगा, एक फिक्स रूल दिया गया था, मुझे याद है जब 2022 में ईशान किशन ने डबल सेंचुरी बनाया था ओडीआई में, बट क्योंकि शुभमन गिल आपका प्रेफर्ड ओपनर था, आपने अगले मैच में शुभमन गिल को चांस दिया, एंड इट वाज अ वेरी डिफिकल्ट कॉल टू ड्रॉप समबडी हु स्कोर्ड अ डबल सेंचुरी इन द लास्ट मैच। और शुभमन गिल ने उसके बाद उसने भी डबल सेंचुरी बना के दिया। तो वही है कि जो शुभमन गिल का पोजीशन नंबर 3 है, ही शुड बैट एट नंबर 3, रोहित शर्मा शुड बैट एट नंबर 5 एज एन ओपनर, एंड केएल राहुल, आई मीन ही वाज बैटिंग इन द मिडिल ऑर्डर। उसको एक मेकशिफ्ट ओपनर बनाया गया था टेस्ट में क्योंकि अवेलेबिलिटी नहीं थी, एंड केएल राहुल विल
Yeah,
रिटर्न बैक टू हिज यूजुअल नंबर ऑफ 6 पोजीशन। आई मीन ऋषभ पंत बैट्स एट
yeah,
5, so केएल राहुल विल कम एट 6.
yeah. I think that's the only logical solution. Although fans want either KL Rahul or Shubman Gill to switch, or some want, as I said, Rohit at number 5. But that's the thing that we'll discuss in the coming days. This it's quite some time till the next test, the second test, which will be played in Adelaide, starting from 6th of December, which is a day and night test, a pink ball test, which will begin at 9:50 a.m., not 7:50 a.m. So that's a change to all our viewers. But before we end this live, I would love to end it with how I'd love to end every live. Jamie, any change in prediction for the series after this victory? You said you gave 2-2 to Australia and India, but now you said that it's tough to see Australia winning two matches. What's the final scoreline you think after this match that we would get to see?
I still think it's too early to change any prediction. Looking at the very obvious batting flaws in Australia, that chance of a draw has severely reduced unless it rains in Sydney. Now, if it doesn't rain, see, Melbourne and Sydney are going to be, unless the Aussies do something like Pakistan and they start to rig these pitches, which वो नहीं करेंगे, वो ऐसे knee jerk reaction नहीं लेते. Safe to say, Melbourne and Sydney में सबसे comfortable batting conditions होने वाले हैं. And the pink ball for about a session and a half. Once it gets in that final session of the pink balls test, then it does get tough. Again, it's still 4 test matches left. I'm gonna stick to 2-2. Maybe after Adelaide, if India are 2-0 up in Adelaide, maybe then I'll change it. But I'm gonna stick to 2-2 right now.
Yeah. Taus, any change in predictions for you?
मेरा क्या था प्रेडिक्शन? मैंने कुछ दिया ही नहीं था. So I don't see. It's very difficult यार. Australia, Adelaide. I'm पिंक बॉल में हम इतना भी कन्विंसिंग नहीं है. सी वी वन अगेंस्ट बांग्लादेश एंड द वे वी लॉस्ट टू ऑस्ट्रेलिया अगेन. इट रिमाइंड्स मी इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू प्ले पिंक बॉल बिकॉज साइटिंग वाइटिंग भी है. तो वो फैक्टर चेंज होके शायद might go in Australia's favor. So it keeps on happening. So right now I don't want to predict anything. Yeah, it's very key. Is it necessary?
It's not prediction, it's a gut feel. It's not that you have to be right. It's like what are you
Unfortunately,
feeling right?
एक गट फील ये आ रहा है कि यार सीरीज अपने हाथ में नहीं है यार.
Now, fair enough. I mean, if it's a gut feel, it's a gut feel. You can't do anything about it. But hopefully, gut feel was such में ना बदले. But Harshit, your gut feel about the series score line.
I mean, I think the series, all 5 test matches will produce the result unless, I mean, rain or something like that, but I'm not sure about that. So for me, as of now, 3-2 in India's favor after
Yeah,
the win in the first test, because Australia will definitely make a comeback in the series at some point. But I see
yeah,
India going into, winning 2 more matches because the kind of batting Australia has, the kind of bowling they have, I mean, not just in this test match. I mean, they were not able to take wickets in this test match. I was not surprised by.
yeah,
In the last tour as well, they got frustrated by Indian batters. I remember the Sydney
yeah,
test where Hanuma Vihari and Ravichandran Ashwin batted for almost more than 2 sessions to frustrate them, and they can get frustrated in the coming matches as well. So I think India is going to win this series, but a very tough series. 3-2 is my prediction for the
yeah.
series.
Yeah, I had the same prediction earlier, and I'm sticking by it. It's 3-2 India for me. Australia will somehow find a way to win two test matches, but India will be just one step ahead of them. But what a wonderful start for the Indian team at the Optus Stadium in the city of Perth, something that they were eyeing, they wanted. And I think India has never lost a BGT whenever they won the first test match. So that's a good omen. That's a good news for all the Indian fans, for the Indian team. It's a good start, as I said. Hopefully, they'll build on from here and go on to win the series as well, which will be their third consecutive series, and it will the Australian team will have to wait to win the next BGT, and probably you will not even see these same sort of players in the next BGT. But that's a long way ahead. As of now, good news for all the Indian fans. Thank you so much, Harshit, Jamie, and Taus for connecting with us, and thank you so much to all our viewers. आपका कोई भी feeling है ना मन में जीतने की खुशी है, any opinion you have, any question you have, please do write to us in the comment section down below. We'll be more than happy to take all your questions. Until then, do take care of yourself. We'll see you soon we'll keep on doing these lives. We'll keep these discussions on regarding the Indian team, Australian team, BGT, IPL auction. इसके बाद Cricket Next will be full of IPL auction. Do join us and watch the watch along, live watch along of the IPL auction day 2. कल भी हमने किया था, अगर नहीं देखा आप जाके देख सकते हैं. आज भी वही होगा, watch along होगा. Do watch it. Until then, do take care of yourself and have a nice day.